Keith Olbermann, that dude's out of his collective mind. Now, Keith Olbermann's that guy that's like Greg Doyle. He's in the bushes. By the way, Greg Doyle took a shot at me and us the other day. He's in the bushes. We're glad you're here. That's what Keith Olbermann does. I'm Keith Overman. I'm waiting for somebody to say something, and then I'm going to pounce in my weird Greg Doyle, Keith Olbermann voice, which is very creepy, by the way, because they're both very, very creepy. But anyway, Olbermann is mad. That's right. And when Keith Olbermann gets mad, damn it, the NCAA has to get an ultimatum. That's right. I said it. Keith Olbermann's upset. He's offering ESPN an ultimatum. Silence Stephen A. Smith or fire him, damn it. That's right. Olbermann's mad. Why ESPN must either silence or fire Stephen A. Smith. It's long-standing policy. No. Can't be a sportscaster on one station and an advocate for a presidential candidate on another. Yeah, you can. You don't understand the way ESPN works now. White dude can't. That's right. I know. I helped to author it. Because the day when you or I could straddle both worlds is long gone. Boy, is that out of touch. Look, white dude, Seth Greenberg and I, commenting on a presidential debate, bad. Discipline, called by ESPN, our bosses. Don't do that. Stephen A. Smith, black man, commenting on what they consider to be black issues in the presidential race, good. ESPN want. Living in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Basically, Obermann's living in pre-George Floyd. ESPN is scared to death of the African-American employee. They're scared to death, these white dudes in Building 4, of having their pensions, their stock options. Norby Williamson, they are scared to death. Connor Shell, scared to death. The black guy is going to call him a racist. So this is long since gone, Keith Olbermann. So why is ESPN letting Stephen A. Smith do it? Because he's an African-American in the post-George Floyd era. Now, George Floyd, or somebody said, George Floyd had as much, if not more, impact as Martin Luther King. I got to tell you, in terms of business, they ain't wrong. No, ain't wrong. I mean, ESPN, one of the biggest companies in the world, changed its entire policy on this for black guys. Now, white guys, hey, you're going to get fired eventually if you comment on this stuff. Everybody knows that. Conservative voices, even though she's African-American, half African-American, Sage Steele, you're going to get fired if you comment on these things. Why is ESPN letting Smith do it? Well, Keith, because we're in a post-George Floyd era. And if you don't, help you. But that's the business. Why is he campaigning for Trump on Fox News? There's the real problem that Keith Olbermann has. He has no problem with Stephen A. Smith endorsing a political candidate. He has no problem with Stephen A. Smith being a sportscaster on one station and an advocate on the other. None, zero, zip. But nobody with any type of platform in our country or maybe across the world, and I hate to give Keith Olbermann that kind of suck, but nobody has bigger Trump derangement syndrome than Keith Olbermann. For example, I think if somehow, some way Trump ended up getting shot, I think the first person I would look at was you got to check Olbermann. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there. I do. I know there's a lot of people out there that would be on that list, but Olbermann's psychotic. He's completely insane. He doesn't care at all that Stephen A. Smith is endorsing a political candidate, presidential candidate. He cares that it's Trump, period. And if you don't believe that, you just simply haven't been paying attention. And here's what the left tries to do, particularly the crazy left. The young unmarried women in this world. Here, you can put that back up. I got to read the rest of it. Here's what they're trying to do in this world. They're trying to silence anybody that goes against der Fuhrer, Joe Biden. Anybody that goes against der Fuhrer, Joe Biden and former president, and current weirdo, Barack Obama. Anybody that goes against him, they want to silence him. This doesn't have anything to do with whether or not Stephen A. Smith, and Olbermann knows it. Olbermann knows the world's changed since George Floyd. ESPN must make him choose advocating for a despot. See? If he was advocating for an idiot, a moron, an imbecile, a.k.a. Biden, it'd be fine. Or keeping his job saying nothing particularly relevant about sports, not both. And I'd insist on the same either if he were campaigning for Biden. Yeah, no, he wouldn't. Nah, please. Are you insane? No, he wouldn't. The left always wants to silence. The left wants to silence the mouths of anybody that isn't stepping in line with their incredible stupidity. That's what they want to do. Period. Why is ESPN letting him do it? Because Connor Schell, all the executives are scared to death of being called racist, being perceived as racist, having another book written about him where it even suggests that they squelch free speech among an African-American big-time employee. Doesn't even have to be a big-time employee. How much racist have we heard out of the fat guy, Kendrick Davis or Kendrick Perkins or Kendrick Lamar, whatever his fat ass name is? How much stupid have we heard out of Jay Williams? How much stupid have we heard out of Ryan Clark, L. Duncan? I mean, we've heard racist stupid left and right. Racist, real racist, not social justice racism, pure and unadulterated. Black people can't vote for Nikola Jokic, racist. You're a sellout if you do, racist. White people are racist if they vote for Nikola Jokic, racist. All things said by the big fat dumbass Kendrick Perkins. All of them. So, having said that, I answer your question. They're letting Smith do it because it's the post-George Floyd era, and that's what ESPN allows. Why is he campaigning for Trump? Because he's got a brain. Because he's not a moron. He sees where we're at as a country. He sees a wide open border. He sees our tax dollars going to Ukraine. He sees our other tax dollars going to illegal immigrants. He understands the game that's being played. Politicians getting fat with insider trading. No regulations on anything. Bidenomics? Go to the store. Really, the answer is go to the store. Why is he advocating? Why is he campaigning for Trump? Go to the store. See what lunch meat costs you. If you've ever been to the store previous, you have a baseline. You know it isn't in double-digit dollars. See what everything costs you. Bidenomics suck. We have a weak president that is Ron Burgundy. So there's your answer. That's why. Damn. Do we really have to explain? Of course we don't. Of course we don't. Keith Olbermann just wants to do what the folks on the left want to do, which is silence anybody that has any type of following from speaking against der Fuhrer. And der Fuhrer is freaking Joe Biden. They follow him. They march in line. He doesn't know where he's at, but I mean they march right behind that idiot. They do. They march behind him like it's their job. They repeat the same talking points day after day after day. Trump bad. Trump World War III. Trump threat to democracy. It's like everybody is just freaking blinded to this idiot. And it's sickening. It's disgusting. It is. Their guy. I mean, I've never seen it before. I've never seen the blind, we're going to say the same talking points like these idiots talk about Biden. Oh, World War III. Oh, threat to our democracy is at stake here. Shut up. Isn't that what leaders like? Isn't that leaders used to do? Scare people? Isn't that what the worst of the worst used to do? Scare people? Persecute people? My wife said this yesterday. She goes, I'd like to get involved. I'd like to protest something that I don't believe in, but could you imagine? Like, you protest January 6th, you're a grandmother, you might be in jail. You know, I've told this story many times. I was on a protest one time just because there was a hot girl in Dunn Meadow in Bloomington. Honest to God. Now you think, wait a second. And my wife made this point yesterday. Could they round us up like they used to back? All the great leaders used to, Mussolini, great leaders. All the dumbass criminal leaders used to do. They ain't great leaders, they're freaking criminals. I mean, honest to God, that's what we're seeing. It's a little bit scary. No, it's a lot of bit scary. And if you don't see it, I can't help you. So I just gave you the answer. We don't need a dictator around here. Obama pulling the strings on frickin' Biden. We don't need it. We don't want it. There you go, Overman. I answered your question.